Now we get into the second, I call it the second part, but it's all an integrated part of this panel, which is the on the ground, the people on the ground. A lot has been said about the private sector, the civil society. I've mentioned in the beginning as the heart of the Arab Spring, that people wanting to have their voice heard. And boy, their voices are being heard now all over. There's no doubt about people's voices being heard. Pascal Lamy talked about the private sector, his role in putting it in. Jean-Marie talked about the importance of putting that in decision making. Is that any future success for what we're discussing, the private sector has to not only give their opinion, but has to be inside. And I think this is important advice, as many of the Arab countries are now reformulating, or at least their economic strategy. With this, we get into this panel, and I have the great honor and pleasure to hear first from engineer Elham Zeadat from Jordan, Amman, who makes from the Dead Sea products. She gave me some products. Where did they go? I'm so pure. I hope you didn't take them back. Some products which I'm sure if you go to supermarkets all over the world, someone stops you, tells you this is the Dead Sea creams, etc. And Elham, she's originally a chemical engineer, and her company, which began very small, now employs 300 families, 42 employees, 95% of them are women. So I would like to give you the floor, because I know that you have a plane also to catch. So please, if you can give us and tell us, if you can translate, to help us translate, translate what has been said in these technical regulations, because when we had breakfast in the morning, you actually said many of the things that were mentioned now in the study, how it's difficult to export, what products, technical. So tell us the challenge, but also tell us the success story, because you were able to do that, to overcome. That means that there is a way, there is a path. It is not the easy path. Governments have to do more, and lots of institutions, but even within the existing structure pre-change, there is a certain way of people being able to export. Please.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Excellency, and thank you for the ITC to include my company and our experience in this important meeting, and for the live topics ITC choose every time and on time. I think it is really on time. I will be presenting this experience from our private sector experience, as I'm representing the Bloom Company. As His Excellency said, it's a company established in 1993, producing the unique natural products from the Dead Sea, which is well known of its very natural and unique specifications. And again, I will repeat that the full-time employees are 42, and they are 95% of them are women. This is not our main employees. We are working with 300 families at home. I will come very short to why we do this. We do this as a contribution from our company to the social responsibility contribution, as we are doing many things through the Pilot Yazan Charity Association, which is in any means, any place, any area we find that women families can do their job, we are relying on them through the training, and ITC was very helpful with this as well. The products we are trying to do our job correctly, perfectly, in the way to be really, we are as a private company also has to be well prepared for our job. In order, before we speak about the trade agreements, we are trying to do our job in a perfect packaging, high quality, different levels, and flexibility for the customer. This is our job in the beginning as a private sector, and I hope we are doing it correctly. My company starts small, and then now we are exporting to 30 countries. We are dealing with top VIP clients all over. I will now mention some expected benefits, what we expect as a private sector from the free trade agreements, some challenges we are facing, how did we overcome. I will talk about three different points only, just to make it fast. The first thing, we expect increasing the sales export, which should help a stronger industrial base. Challenges, what's the reason for weak integration, especially, for example, in this aspect? Either problem in the same, little problems in the same agreements sometimes, or sometimes in the application and the awareness about this. For example, I will mention about it's not only between the agreements between Arab countries. We have in Jordan the free trade agreement with the United States. I think Jordan was the third country to sign this agreement. Imagine that cars from the States are not included in the agreement, in the free trade agreement, as well as Dead Sea products, which is the most important product in Jordan. When we are excluding these two products, then there is a weakness in the agreement itself. Our suggested solution, which we already passed to our government, is to include the correct and the right private sector parties who are sharing in the study phase of any agreement. It's not only to be just made by official institutions or government. Now, this is one of the obstacles we are facing, and we are solving it, we are overcoming it by raising our voice to the people who are involved in this agreement, and they are changing indeed. Advantage two, we expect great access to import and export benefits between the countries that are having, especially, let's say, in the Arab region. Reasons for, again, weak integration. Sometimes, let us admit that the reason is the products themselves are not ready. Maybe the quality, maybe the packaging. This homework here, ITC is doing really a good job. As Your Excellency said, they are rolling their sleeves, and they are going to and we were included in some of these, involved in some of these experiences. So sometimes this is the reason why we don't have this impact of import-export from the free trade agreements. The most important are the logistics. As for example, our company, we have many certificates, we have many approvals, people like our products, our packaging and everything. Sometimes the logistics between both countries is really killing. Imagine you're exporting a shipment, for example, and suddenly you have the shipping details, you have the confirmation for reservation, everything. Suddenly your airline telling you, we will split your shipment. It couldn't be shipped one time. And your client is prepared to clear this shipment one time. And you know that companies recently, our private sector, don't have the time for more headache to modify the shipping. This is really an obstacle. It is important. It is simple but very important for the work, for our job. Sometimes the logistics is also the way how the governments are sharing the efforts with the private sector. How do they do the job? Can you imagine that in some countries, people in the customs, employees in the customs, they don't know about the free trade agreements between these two countries? What we do usually when we export, for example, for the United States, we usually attach a copy of the agreement with the packing list and the invoice. This is a job that is done by us as a company, just to make sure that the employee who is going to be there at that time know about the agreement. It should be in their system that it happened many times with us that they don't know about it, and they would charge the importer the tax as if there is no agreement. You should include the copy with your documents, and this is a new load for our staff in the company also, or in any other private company, to think about the things that should be already automatically well known and understood. These simple things look like very simple but on the ground they are really making a difference when you are get rid of these. Some of the solutions we are trying to do is we are trying through, as a private sector, we agreed, I'm heading the export consortium in Jordan for the Dead Sea products. We are trying as private companies to do some lobbying with the government, with the embassies, with some of the official institutions to make some awareness about these things and to do some enhanced companies, for example, in the shipping field, to come to Jordan, invest in Jordan, and when the competition is like that, then services will become more competitive, prices will become better, and this is another issue that we are doing on our own efforts. The last advantage we are expecting is, and the most important, is to increase overall employment levels, improve living standards of the quality of life for the workers, and export to pay more for the employees as export industries. These things are very important, and when we export more, it's a real fact, everybody knows it, we will be employing more people. The issue here and the challenge come, can you find the professional people so you are doing the job in the correct way? Can you find the commitment? And if you want to train them, are they willing to learn? This is an issue that here I think ITC can do a great job to train more on specific training courses. I don't mean specific means for packaging. Packaging is, to us as private sector, when we work on the ground, packaging is a very general training. Specific way of training, and most important in our region is the commitment. It's a mentality issue. The worker, if he learns how to grow with the company, it will help so much the company, and it will help them as well. This commitment issue and this professional training is really, we have a lack of experiences with this issue. We are doing the training. It's okay, fine, we can do it, but are they willing? There is an issue, an important issue in this aspect. We want as an employee, we want everything to be easy, fast. We don't want to give any effort. At the same time, we want high salaries. This equation is not going to work. And I will tell you that during my experience in the charity business, I know that each single person who is having more sustainable job and having good salary, he is willing to encourage, and he's doing that, or she, to encourage 5 at least other people to learn more, because they have the impact and they have the positive impact for the result. This is a study we made it through the Pilot Yazan Charity Association. And here comes the issue that we have to modify our training, we have to modify our aspects in each country as per the country mentality and as per their needs, because otherwise we will be talking as if we are talking to ourselves only. So from our experience, we do the training free of charge. We do the training while the employee is getting his salary. It's not free. It's a free of charge training. At the same time, they are getting their salaries because they are in need of this job. I'm talking about the severe situation. I'm not talking about people who are, they have the...
because of the time
yeah.
element, but if you could just give us in 30 seconds, what is behind the reason for the success? You've mentioned many of the challenges and you've been able to deal with them, but if you would if there is, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if there is a single reason, because at the end of the day you're successful despite all this, what you've mentioned, what has been the reason? How has, for example, ITC helped you, of course, to reach that success? What is the core of that success?
Oh, yes, we have, and I'm almost finished anyway. But the point is, we know how to highlight through ITC and some other official parties. We are highlighting and making the problems in parts, and we start to solve it in parts. And we don't take the whole group and the whole issues together. This is, in my point of view, the most important, and we modify modify ourselves every time in the place we go. This is the most important. And when you have this, the problem, we are not looking, that's what I mean in making it smaller. We are not looking for others to solve our problem. We have to solve it by ourselves. I will tell you for the last minute how to modify ourselves. I will tell you very short thing from my son. He used to be a pilot in the Royal Jordanian Air Force. One time he was flying in the States in Atlanta airport. It's a busy airport, very busy airport. He was the 7th to fly. Then he decided the first airplane, the first pilot, he decided to delay his because it seems he has a problem. Then he said, "I'm not ready. I will be delaying. Who's next?" Then they asked, "Who is next?" He said, "I'm next." "Who's ready?" "Not next. Who's ready?" He said, "I'm ready." He was the 7th. Then he pass over the 6th and he fly. And then it makes a big messy situation. How do he do that? Then, of course, when he landed, they were asking him, "Why did you do that?" He said simply, without becoming crazy, "Yes, this is the way we drive our cars in Jordan." The same way he applied for the airplanes. You know, this is really impossible thing to do, but we can do it to modify everything as per the mentality of us, of the people everywhere. So, yeah. So, thank you very much, and I'm really sorry for it.